How's it going, everyone? Bass here, and welcome to my second official Green Bay Packers 2021 mock draft, my mock of the week. I said I was going to do it every couple weeks. I decided, hey, why not do it every week? We only have, that many more weeks until the draft, and things are starting to hype up, and Packers are starting to visit with certain players, and we're really starting to see what they might start going after. So with this draft, I'm actually going to explore trade options. That's not saying I'm definitely going to do any, but if they're there, I'm going to take them. Last mock, I purposely didn't do any trades just because I kind of wanted to get a mock out there, just plain and simple what the Packers picks were, and then go from there. So again, if you didn't already know, the Packers do have 10 picks overall. It's kind of still up in the air what exactly they're getting compensatory back, but they're definitely getting picks from Blake Martinez signing with the Giants, Brian Bulaga signing with the Chargers, and Kyler Fackrell also signing with the Giants. Over the cap has it as a fourth, and a sixth, but the site I'm using for the mock draft has it as a fourth, a fifth, and a sixth. So that's what we'll be drafting at today. So if we get it started, we're going to put it at 7 rounds. We're going to start it at slow speed to kind of go over some of the picks, and then if we choose the Packers, we can get right into it. So if we start, we're not obviously going to trade up into the top 10. I just don't see that being realistic at all. And as for trades, I'm also going to use the official draft pick value chart. There's a chart, they assign certain values to certain picks. I'm going to use those to trade this so it's a little bit more realistic, because I know in some of these mock draft simulators, you can pretty much finagle your way up to like multiple top 10 picks without giving up much. So if you look at this chart here, basically it assigns, like I said, a certain number to every pick. We're going to go on the basis of that and then move on forward. So let's go ahead and get it started and obviously get Trevor Lawrence off the board as usual. And then probably going to be Justin Fields or someone here. It is Zach Wilson. That's actually something that I see rising up more and more and more. Zach Wilson being the second quarterback potentially taken off the board, which is definitely a real possibility. I would assume the Dolphins take Sewell here. Jamar Chase, that's another good pick for them. Kwity Paye at 4 to the Falcons. Interesting. They do have an edge need, but it seemed a little early for him. Fields to the Bengals. That's just, not even going to talk about it, honestly. Eagles probably going to end up taking quarterback, of course. Yep, Trey Lance. Last time I said there's no way the Eagles take a quarterback, but then, hey, Carson Wentz was traded to the Colts, and now they're paying him 31, I think, or 33 million to not be on their team. So I don't know what the Eagles are going to do, honestly. They could draft a kicker there. I don't know what Howie Roseman does. The dude does. I don't know. I'm from Pennsylvania, and pretty much a lot of my friends who are Eagles fans are as shocked as I am. They pretty much don't want to be fans anymore. That's how annoyed they are with Howie Roseman. Parsons to the Lions, kind of would hate that. I hate playing good linebackers. Pitts to the Panthers. Waddle to the Broncos. I don't know if they take 2 wide receivers first round 2 years in a row. Judy last year, Waddle this year. It depends. I mean, they could. And then Owusu Koromoa to the Giants here. I see him as like a more traditional 4-3 linebacker. So even if he had fallen to the Packers pick, I'm not entirely sure I would have drafted him. I'm starting to look and like Zaven Collins a lot. This dude's a physical specimen and fast at being so physical. I think he's 6'4" or 6'6" or something crazy. I gotta look it up, but the guy's fast for being such a big linebacker too. So the first corner actually is J.C. Horn at 14. We're getting into the realm of possibly trading up and trying to grab Patrick Surtain II, because if you look at these picks, Bateman goes, J.C. Horn is the first corner to go. The next team that has a need at corner is at 23. So I feel he probably will get taken before then. So I'm going to say if he falls to 20, not that Chicago would trade with us. So I'm going to say if he falls to 19, to Washington, I might actually try to trade up for that. And Sante goes before him. Okay. Very interesting. Okay. So for some reason, obviously these mock drafts are completely random, but I feel like you can't really pass up that Patrick Surtain is still on the board here at 19. So if we go to our draft value chart, I'm still torn because no team really needs a corner until the Jets. So should I try to let that fall a little bit more? I don't want the Bears taking him. I'm gonna let it fall, because I think I'm actually gonna let it fall. And I know I'm gonna probably end up kicking myself here, but Barmore goes. That would have been a good trade-up option there too. Mac Jones to the Bears. Browns, same thing, right? Okay. Okay, so it ended up working out. We ended up saving a little bit of capital here. The Jets, it's their last need, but it's also the Jets. They do need a corner. And I feel like he would definitely get taken in these next 6 picks before ours. So at that rate, we have the Jets 23rd, which is 760 points. And then the Packers is 640. You have 120 points, right? So you could give them our late 3rd round for this to trade up. A 92 is pretty much spot on. It's 132 points. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I just think you can't pass up the number 1 corner in this draft, especially how this draft is laid out, and 2 getting drafted before him and him falling a little bit. If everything's correct with Patrick Surtain, then I think this is a no-brainer here. I'm going to get their 6th round, I believe, and then we're trading our 1st round, our 29, and the 3rd to jump up a little bit. So we offer that. Okay, it was not accepted. So obviously my charts aren't going too well. So if we remove, say, their 6, let's offer that again, and that was accepted. So pretty much we're trading 2 picks, our 3rd round and our 1st as well, to move up to spot 23. And then obviously right here you have Patrick Surtain the 2nd, and you draft him. I really like that value. That's insane value at 23. Like I said, you usually don't see him fall this far in mocks, so the fact that he did, I just, I feel you kind of had to jump up and grab him. And obviously you lose a 3rd round draft choice, but you're getting a starting outside corner. You're getting a starting guy day 1. They're losing Kevin King. They don't really have a guy out there. So Chandon Sullivan's a slot corner. So I think it's kind of a must here. You kind of have to draft a corner in the first 2 rounds, which I think the Packers are definitely going to do. So if they could somehow snag Patrick Surtain the 2nd in the 1st round and pick 23, I'm all for it. And also, Gutekunst is traded in some way, shape, or form in both of his drafts, so I could definitely see him trading again in the 1st round here. All right, so we're up at pick 62. So with this, we got to realize, we're after this pick, unless we trade, we got to wait another 60 picks here. So getting someone like an edge player, or I think you can get a little bit better wide receiver value in our 4th rounds. I think we can kind of maybe pick up Rodgers again, like I did in my 1st mock, or someone else. I think there's a little more value there. And I'm thinking with this, we either got to go for an offensive lineman, or defensive lineman, or an edge here. Najee Harris is still here. I'm really intrigued by him, but I can't draft another running back in the 2nd round. I have full belief in A.J. Dillon, and of course having multiple running backs is great, as you should know, being a Packers fan. But I think they might end up signing someone in free agency for a little lower money to be their backup, or bringing back Jamal Williams. So I just don't see drafting Najee Harris here at 2nd round, although he's great talent. Now looking at Tylan Wallace here, definitely intriguing, but I'm also looking at Jalen Mayfield and Creed Humphrey. The Packers have a hole at center. They still have Hansen, last year rookie out of Oregon, who we have no idea how he's going to play, or if he does play at all. So that's definitely an option there. Creed would probably come in and start at center right away. And then Mayfield is a good tackle as well, and has just a lot of power, it says here. And definitely I could see the Packers getting a tackle early. Last time they drafted an interior lineman was in the top 2 rounds with Elton Jenkins. So I think they definitely know how to target their interior linemen. So with this pick, I'm actually going to go with Creed Humphrey. I just think there's a lot of need for that inside role at center. Elton could play it. I don't want him to. Lucas Patrick could play it. It's Lucas Patrick who, is serviceable, but I think with this pick, I'm going to go Creed Humphrey, center. And now we sit back and wait for all these picks and all these players I like to just come off the board. the one downside with trading up in the first round. The middle rounds, you end up losing a lot of draft capital there, and it just hurts to watch all these players go that you like. All right, we are finally here, and if we look up, we still have needs at defensive line, linebacker, wide receiver. Got our corner, got our center, two really big needs for this Packers football team. Got arguably the best cornerback in the draft class, which is definitely worth it for giving up one of our third rounders, or our third rounder. And going up, looking at the picks before this, St. Brown came off the board. The Nayers at round 3, which was really good value there. And just looking at other picks of guys I kind of had targeted. Sean Wade, we already got our corner. Tutu Atwell I kind of looked at with Same Sage Surratt. Darden I liked, a nice slot receiver there. Dylan Moses. So a lot of guys I was already looking at off the board, which, again, sucks. But here we are. So we have Trey Smith, a guard. I don't think they'd take a center and a guard back-to-back like that. And then going down a little bit, we have Amari Rodgers here again, who I drafted in the last one. I really like. I might be able to wait until our next pick and snag him at 142 rather than 135. I might actually wait on him. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to end up taking Patrick Jones here. Big edge from Pittsburgh. If you look at his draft profile here, it says continue left us wanting more. One hope there's untapped potential in his prototypical frame. So his frame, he's a very prototypical frame for an edge guy. I think he could be coached up. He is ideal size for playing the edge, but you can never draft and never have enough edge rushers. So that's why in the 4th round of one of our picks in the 4th round, I'm going to go ahead and take Patrick Jones II out of Pittsburgh. And now we hope that my guy Amari Rodgers falls, and he does. So I think with this pick, we definitely are going to go ahead and take Amari Rodgers. I do like Hufanga here. He's a good box type safety, big hitter. Could definitely play down in the box for the Packers. And then just like last draft, I took Brady Christensen, who's an absolute unit at tackle. Another option here. But I think I'm just going to go with Amari Rodgers again. As boring as it sounds, but it's not boring. That's the thing. Amari Rodgers is just a freak athlete. I think he would fit so well in the Matt LaFleur system. They could use him in so many different ways. He could also help us in special teams. He could play slot. This dude can pretty much do it all. That's why I really like his value in the late 4th round, early 5th round. So again, in my mock draft 2.0, again, I'm taking A. Rodgers. Having another A. Rodgers on the team can't be bad, right? I feel like that's a given. You have to go A. Rodgers to A. Rodgers. It would be like the connection of a lifetime. So now we have to wait another 20-something picks, 25, 26 picks to get down to our pick. So with this pick, I'll probably try to look at running back, tackle, maybe a safety, definitely a linebacker, definitely look there. I'm just not too in on some of the late round linebackers. None of them really pop out to me. It would have been really nice to get Zaven Collins in the back end of the 1st, but that opportunity arose with Surtain, so I really couldn't pass that up. If we didn't just draft a receiver in the last round, Schwartz is very, very interesting because he's absolutely the fastest person in this draft class, and I think the Packers could definitely use someone like that, but Amari Rodgers is fast, so definitely not going to draft Schwartz here. I think with this pick, I'm actually going to go ahead and look at Trey Sermon. I think he'd be a solid second running back for this Packers team. He's nothing crazy. He's not going to change anything crazy, but I think, like I said, could definitely be a solid backup to A.J. Dillon and could provide some relief in that way. So with this pick, and he's at the top of the board here, his rank is far better than most guys here, so I'm going to go ahead and take Trey Sermon in the 5th round of this draft. So with our next pick in the 5th round, which is only 4 from our last, I think I'm going to go and try to look at linebacker here. I'm not too fond on Riley Cole. Garrett Wallow's all right. If you look at his draft profile here, it's not going to wow you in coverage, but it's a solid linebacker you can trust in your middle defense. I wish there was a better option here at linebacker in terms of a cover guy, but I think Wallow could definitely, show a little bit of promise here. And the thing I like, it says on one of his pros, is fearless blitzer who relishes contact. You love guys that just go in and want to hit, that's what, to say the least. So again, he's not really your cover guy, but you lost Christian Kirksey, who wasn't really a cover guy, although he had a good coverage grade in the playoffs. But with this pick, I'm going to go ahead and take Garrett Wallow, linebacker out of TCU. So now we have 3 picks remaining. Definitely going to be looking at tackle, possibly another corner, and maybe a D-line. Try to fill those 3 spots there. So as I said in the last one, once you get around round 5, 6, 7, you start to not know as many players, and at this rate, I'm kind of just drafting for positional need and then also going off of PFF grading. And by the looks of it, O'Brien Goodson, 6'1", 297, defensive lineman, could definitely play the 3 or the 5 tech. He's an 88.4 grade for 2020, which is pretty damn outstanding. So it's either between him and I think Demetrius Taylor here, another edge guy out of Appalachian State, who's 6'1", 295. And we already added an edge. I think I'm going to add a little bit more volume up to the defensive line and draft O'Brien Goodson in the 6th round. So ideally, I would have liked to get a tackle earlier in this draft, but drafting Creed Humphrey in the 2nd definitely shores up the Packers' offensive line some more. It doesn't force them to move, like I said, Elton or Lucas Patrick to center, and then you can keep Billy Turner out at tackle or move him to left tackle and then have someone play right tackle. So I think in the 6th round, I'm just going to try to take a flyer pick here on Josh Ball, tackle out of Marshall. So now we're on the final pick for the Packers of my 2nd ever mock draft for 2021, and a guy that's popping out at me is Dax Milne at receiver out of BYU. I would assume he was one of Zach Wilson's main targets. He was a 4th graded wide receiver in 2020 with a 90.0. Seems he has decent size, 6'1", 190. Don't know much about him, but he had 1,188 yards on 91 targets, 70 receptions, so definitely a lot of volume. Probably was Zach Wilson's go-to guy. 8 touchdowns, so just out of the potential there, I'm going to go ahead and draft another receiver and take Dax Milne as our final pick in this mock draft. So again, I'm not going to really look at draft grades. I think they're pretty much pointless, as I said in the last one. I think most people agree with me. The draft grade on the trade for the Jets has a C-, which is stupid because I literally went off a draft value chart, so whatever. But and then it's saying a B- for Patrick Surtain at the 23rd pick. Yeah, okay. Like, come on. But we shored up corner there. Patrick Surtain the 2nd at corner from out of Alabama, a 23rd pick, which I think is amazing value. Creed Humphrey, which is a very big need at center because today the Packers basically, there's news came out that they're pretty much going to let Corey Linsley walk unless for some reason he didn't get any offers, which isn't going to happen. So there's definitely going to be a need here at center, whether that's Jake Hansen or a draft pick like Creed Humphrey. We shall see. But I think it's really good value there at 62. In the 4th round, Patrick Jones, the 2nd, edge out of Pittsburgh. I like his versatility, his potential, so I definitely think the Packers are going to add an edge or 2 in this draft, especially considering Precious Smith is probably gone. Again, just like the last draft, I drafted Amari Rodgers in the 4th round. Just love the value there. Love him as a gadget player for the Packers. And then after him, Trey Sermon. Packers need another running back. They really don't have many running backs left. There's Jamal Williams and Aaron Jones, who are free agents, and it looks like Aaron Jones is probably going to be a Miami Dolphin, and we are unsure with Jamal Williams right now. So Trey Sermon there. Then Garrett Wallow, a decent downhill linebacker, very physical. I could see them drafting him after losing Christian Kirksey, kind of add another body there. And then the last 3 picks, we drafted defensive lineman, O'Brien Goodson out of Memphis, Josh Ball, tackle out of Marshall, and then Dax Milne, which seemingly was one of the better receivers on BYU, with Zach Wilson, which I like the value there. I like the Packers potentially getting 2 receivers in this draft. I see them cutting Devin Funchess, and I see them extending Devontae Adams. But after that, there's a lot of uncertainty with the Packers receiver room in terms of future years. Obviously, we have MVS and Lazard and St. Brown on the roster next year, but after that, I'm pretty sure all are free agents after next year. So there's definitely a reason why the Packers would draft multiple receivers in this draft. So let me know what you think about my mock draft 2.0 for the 2021 Packers draft, and if you liked certain picks or disliked certain picks or thought I should have drafted someone else over someone. I will be back again next week for my 3.0, and we'll see what we can do with that. And on that note, I'll catch you on the next one. As always, go Pack Go.